Augview is an augmented reality mobile GIS solution. It's an application that runs on your phones, tablets, and augmented reality glasses. It provides both a map display, traditional mobile GIS type of map display, and also an augmented reality and virtual reality display. So automatically turning GIS data into a 3D model, which you can visualize in both virtual reality, i.e. no GPS, no camera, so it's just you can fly through the model, or augmented reality, where we're actually standing in reality and in the correct location and seeing the assets or other features around us. So around about 2010, 2011, I had a large contract in Singapore, and I realized that Singapore was pretty much like other parts of Asia, Europe, Middle East, Australasia, and North America, and that the utilities and telcos had become privatized and corporatized, and in doing so they'd restructured, got rid of a lot of their senior engineers and people that actually knew intimately where things were in the ground. And they'd restructured in such a way that they now used subcontractors rather than actually having all the in-house capability of maintenance and design and construction and so on. And in doing so, they'd lost that resource, and they employed all these subcontractors, and these guys were poorly paid, inexperienced, and many unable to easily understand technical drawings, engineering drawings, and maps. As a result, there was a lot of collateral damage being done, and people were getting electrocuted or injured by high-pressure gas or water, and there was a lot of damage being done around the world to underground networks. I realized we need to be able to get data into the field in a different form, not just as PDFs or pieces of paper, but both as on mobile devices, because it's fast, everybody can use their mobile device, and secondly, change the representation so it was much easier to understand and comprehend. So change it from a map or engineering drawing display into an augmented reality display. So you actually, as you're walking around, it's like having X-ray vision. You can see down onto the ground, you can see where the pipes and cables actually are located. And that totally eliminates the issues to do with the mental modeling of trying to understand where we are standing in relation to all those lines on those pieces of paper. So that's what we started doing in 2011, 2012. We did a prototype, and then we took that to market and then said, would this be something that utilities and telcos would be interested in? And the response was resoundingly absolutely yes. If it was a product, they would definitely be interested in purchasing it. So we then formed Augview and getting it out to the market globally. Within Augview, we have three modes of operation, really. The traditional GIS map mode, a virtual reality mode where we've turned the GPS off and the camera off, and so now everything we can see is purely virtual. And augmented reality mode where we have GPS turned on and GPS tracking active, and we typically have the camera on if we're using a mobile phone or a tablet, and so that we can see the virtual over the reality. Functionality-wise, we've got, as you'd expect, full layer control, feature selection, return of characteristics, attributes. We can do data update and data capture, both alphanumeric attribute capture and update, and also geometry capture and update. So we can move things around into the right location and see it immediately rendered in 3D. The trick really with virtual reality and augmented reality in these sort of environments is really to be able to convert automatically the data that's coming from everybody's GIS into a 3D representation. So we don't need to go through any pre-processing or special data models. It will read anybody's GIS and convert that automatically into a 3D representation. Now, you might say, how do you do that? Maybe it's only two-dimensional data, but it's easy. We just take the 2D data, and typically there are other characteristics like nominal depth or height of the pole or the size of the cable or size of the pipe, size of the conduit and so on. And we can use those characteristics to give the right scales, right representations, and the right depth or height. We can represent point features as complicated or complex 3D models. These models can be either static or alternatively we can actually animate them. And so this gives people a comprehension of not only where it's located, but also what it is, what its specifications are, and what its behaviors are. So augmented reality gives us the ability to see not only physical things that we can't otherwise see, but also characteristics of things that are not visible to the human eye. So these characteristics like temperature or the volume of something going through a pipe or the pressure in the pipe and so on. And that's where Augview can certainly assist.